Hello there, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here with another episode of Hot Mic with SSJ. I'd like to start off by thanking our wonderful sponsors, Patrick Carter, KCFarmersAgent.com, Farmers Insurance. Patrick Carter, he's local, he's loyal, and if you need help with your insurance, contact Patrick Carter. Go to KCFarmersAgent.com. We thank him for his support from day one of Hot Mic with SSJ. Also, KC Grilling Company. For more information, go to kcgrillingco.com. They've got everything you need. They are the Overland Park and Olathe barbecue experts. Rubs and seasonings, barbecue sauces, injections and marinades, grills and smokers, outdoor kitchens, kcgrillingco.com, and of course, CBDAmericanShaman.com. If you would like to try any of the wonderful products from CBD American Shaman, this podcast is powered by CBD American Shaman. Go to CBDAmericanShaman.com. All right, we have our friend Todd Lebo here for this week's episode of Hot Mic with SSJ, and it's a very sad episode, a very sad day on Hot Mic with SSJ. We've been talking about
so
this.
Sad.
Well, the Queen passed away.
Queen of what?
The Queen of England.
Okay.
Passed away at the age of 96. And we were talking about this and reading.
What a tragic
tweets.
end.
Well, how do you think this will affect the Kansas City Royals? Because this is
to be royal.
Right. Do you how do you feel about this? You're someone that appreciates history and current events and world events. What do you say about the Queen of England passing away at the age of 96?
I don't understand why there is a Queen of England. They elect leaders,
right?
Prime Minister, who they made quit, and they put another one in, and they still continue to have this old pomp and circumstance thing, and I don't understand why there's an infatuation with it here in America. We
A lot of people love the Queen. She provides comfort to millions of people around the world.
How's that?
I don't know. That's what I just read.
From where?
On Twitter?
Most of Twitter, I'm saying it's not very nice.
What do you mean?
The Irish.
There's a lot of mean Queen tweets coming out of Ireland today.
Well, and probably out of Australia and India and South Africa,
right?
And many of the places that were, part of the Commonwealth, as they say. The sun never sets on the British Empire. Well, it sets. It's over. We put an end to that.
Well, now there's the king.
I said one of the tweets was kind of funny. It was a mock newspaper thing, and it says 73-year-old man finally gets a job.
Right. So you're not.
I'm not busted up about this, and I don't get it. They don't have any. They have sway for sure over in England. I guess they can, sway public opinion, I guess, but they can't vote. They don't do anything.
Here's the deal.
And honestly, I'm not one of these guys because there's been a lot of horrible things have happened. We went over that with Jake here in America when we started talking about Thanksgiving. Okay. The bad things have happened. And the British Empire, for hundreds of years, they did some bad things in a lot of places. One of them by continuing to have people drive on the wrong side of the road in some of these places, which is a mess, right? But they're not sad. We won this war of the American Revolution. Why do we still care about the freaking royals?
I don't know. This is how I feel right now about England, about the Brits. Okay,
the Brits.
So I watched this fucking documentary about one of the worst people that ever lived.
Jimmy Savile?
Jimmy Savile.
Who was in cahoots with these people?
He was enabled.
Now the King of England?
No, he was enabled by the royal family.
Yes.
And he was a fucking horrible person.
Awful.
That molested and abused many kids.
It's many of them in places where they could not fight it. I mean, in
children's hospitals.
Yeah.
One of the worst fucking people in the world. Watch this documentary. It'll turn your stomach. But some people need to see this shit to know what's going on. And he was enabled by Prince Charles and all these fucking people. And what's the other prince?
Andrew.
It's a fucking pervert. Was running around
Andrew
with who's the fucking guy?
Jeff Epstein.
Yeah,
old Jeff.
I mean, these people are no better than anyone else. In fact, many of them in the royal family are fucking worse.
So here's the thing. Here in America,
but may the queen rest in peace.
Blah, 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 blah. So we get mad when people get extra benefits and things like that who don't need it and blah, 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 blah. Tax benefits and all this, This is the ultimate, like, just living off the tit. I mean, they use tax dollars and all this stuff to pay for to upkeep of these palaces and all this kind of crap. It's ridiculous.
Nursing in the very teeth of society.
Yes.
So you're not a fan of the royal family or?
And it's so weird. Like, you watch these morning shows. Like, my wife watches Good Morning America. It's the same thing on the Today Show.
My wife
like
was
that.
very upset about the Queen.
Yes. My wife might have been until my children started sending tweets that were funny.
Well, like what?
Well, like,
give us an example.
There was a soccer crowd in Ireland. It was either rugby or soccer chanting, "Lizzie's in a box." Wow. It's a little rough. I guess the Irish really have they're a little closer to it than we are, and they didn't win their war. And
read that description from that Irish newspaper.
It says, living next door to a monarchy is like having a next door neighbor who has decorated their house with clowns and loves clowns. And then the final part there is that your next door neighbor killed your granddad.
Wow. A clown killed your grandfather.
killed your granddad. So I don't get it. Why are we now? But here's part of the problem in America. We are starstruck, right? I don't know why we give this shit about the Kardashians or Kylie Jenner or any of these people who now are hundreds of millionaires or billionaires or whatever without really doing anything other than making a TV show about what they do, right?
Sure.
We love our sports stars who don't really do anything other than the fact that they play a game and it's part of, the economy of society and blah, 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 all that stuff. The star crap that happens here, and it's happening more here with social media because someone can just become a star on social media for no real reason, and people get too fired up about them. All this Britney Spears crap, Free Britney, these people who it was their life to get her out of her conservatorship, what's the infatuation with all this stuff? But I really don't get why they send people in America to go cover anytime, like, the Queen farted or anything.
Someone tweeted out that their mother thought that Queen Latifah had passed away.
Well, that would be desperate. That would be awful.
Someone tweeted
now, here's straighten this out with me. You remember the movie, The King's Speech?
Okay.
Do you remember that movie? You remember the movie, though, right?
Sure.
The Stuttering King.
Yeah.
All right. That guy
I don't know.
Is her daddy. Okay? And the only reason he became king was because his older brother had gotten divorced and was going to marry a divorced American woman. And he said, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to be the king of stupid England. I'm going to go ahead and abdicate the throne and just marry this woman. And it was a big controversy back in the day. And they did that. So then this guy, Colin Firth, he played him in the movie. He becomes king. So if this lady, this Queen Elizabeth's uncle, had just not wanted to marry this American divorced woman, then she never would have been the queen. Right?
Nate's all pissed off they canceled the soccer games.
They did. Ben Mester's pissed off they canceled the soccer games. He was using some of his DraftKings money for some soccer bets. Now what the fuck? They're going to reschedule those things? When are those going to be played? Apparently, they're doing 10 days of mourning over there. They're just shutting the shit down.
So you're not going to watch any of the pomp and circumstance?
I will not watch any of the pomp and circumstance. I was clicking around this morning, and I will not watch it. I changed the channel. I clicked on 2 news channels, and they were showing a 96 cannon salute because she was 96 years old. Both of them were. I was on for 2 seconds. I went and looked at? Sports.
All right. Any final thoughts on the Queen?
No. Well, here's the deal.
Do you have any issue with Marco playing Queen? Another one bites the dust today on the show.
No, it was fine.
Right.
That was well done. Like, my grandma died last year. She was 101 years old. I was sad that my grandma died, but good God almighty, 101 years? Who had a better 96 years than this fucking lady?
Betty White? Lived to be 99. That was pretty
No,
good.
but did she get to be the fucking queen?
No.
And have everyone do
No.
everything for her and all that stuff?
No, she didn't.
Probably. I don't know for sure, but maybe Betty White had to endure a casting couch or two in her life.
Good God, man.
I mean, I don't know. It was
you-
the fucking 50s and 60s coming up.
Can you?
There's no tears shed for this woman who got to be the queen of fucking England and had no responsibilities and lived to be 96 years old.
Comforted millions in their time of need.
No. How?
Do you think that she was good in The Naked Gun?
That wasn't her.
Oh, bullshit. It wasn't her.
It wasn't the queen.
I fucking saw it.
That was an actress.
Reggie Jackson almost. I must kill
That
the
was
queen.
Reggie Jackson.
Right. Okay.
That was Reggie Jackson.
Can we move on from this? Or do you have any final thoughts on the royal family or the queen?
Stop star worshiping the royal family
No, it's going to
and
be even more.
and silly celebrities in America.
Okay.
Stop.
On that note, let's talk
Stop.
about Jack White. We went to see Jack
You
White,
should worship him.
and boy, don't we, at Starlight last week. And so here was the situation.
Here, put up all the pictures we took.
I bought
on the
these,
screen.
I bought these. You can't take pictures. That's a no phone show. But I bought these tickets back in December, and I was able to purchase.
I remember you came in my office
I got front row tickets.
and you said, "I'm buying these tickets. I got this guy who says I can buy these tickets."
a gentleman from Starlight.
Yes,
And so thank you, sir. And I don't know if he wants his name out there.
we won't say that.
But Starlight, Jack White, front row, here we go. I've been battling this fucking back injury. I didn't know how it was going to be physically, but I got through it. I had a therapeutic massage and a chiropractor adjustment, and I had painkillers, and I was good to
Did
go.
you have an expired lidocaine patch on your back?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So anyway, my dad got this for me from a friend.
It comes
And
from
so-
the train.
Yeah, they didn't stick quite
You
well.
ain't good on the train.
And so here's the deal. So, and Richie, my son, who's a musician, loves Jack White. It's one of the musicians that he's most heavily influenced by. And so we got front row seats. Richie fucking catches COVID a week before the concert. And just the timeline, he's sick and he can't go.
I get a text message at like 10:30 at night on Saturday night saying, "Do you
'Cause
want to
that's
go to
when-
Jack White on Monday?"
Because that's when we called.
As we called, you called to fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, my wife's asleep, but I will answer you tomorrow morning."
And it
But
was-
yes,
yeah.
count me in.
It was just me and Susan and the boys were going to go. And so I wanted someone that would appreciate Jack White. And I remember back in the day, it was 2007 when I saw the White Stripes at
It was
Starlight.
2005. It was
Was it
17 years ago.
2005?
That's
Damn.
how long ago it was.
You were there. I was there. I've seen him at Midland, and I've seen him at Verizon. And then you have not seen Jack White solo.
Not solo.
Right.
No. I'd only seen that White Stripe show, which coincidentally enough, I was sitting in the front row for.
Well, see, there you go.
It was
And so,
beautiful.
But we're there, front row, one of the greatest concerts I've ever been to. And I've been paying attention to the set list, and the set list from the from the night before from St. Louis, I didn't like the set list very much. He didn't do the White Stripe songs that I liked. There were some other he doesn't use a set list. Every concert he does, there's like
First song,
right.
last song were the same at every show, and then like the first song of the encore, maybe the first two songs were the same, but other than that, it's all just wild.
Right, and he goes, just how he's feeling. He says whatever the crowd feeds him, that's what he's going to give him back, and so, and the first song's "Taking Me Back," and the last song's "Seven Nation Army." Everything else is up in the air. It was so fucking good, and we were there front row, and the crowd was kind of dead, I thought, at the beginning, and we're there, and we can see everything he's saying. He comes out there, and after the first song, he's going, come on, and you can see he goes, wake the fuck up, come on, let's go. And so then he does.
By the way, did you think it was kind of hard to tell what the crowd was doing since we were so far in front
Right.
of them?
Well, that's
It was
right.
a little
But
difficult.
I know, I didn't-
mean, we were kind
There
of
we
up in
go.
the front. We
Like-
couldn't
like-
quite tell.
like the royal family.
Yeah.
And so he did "Dead Leaves" and "The Dirty Ground," a great White Stripes song. The third song, crowd goes fucking crazy. But I mean, this is some of the set list. One of his new songs, "Heidi Ho," which is great. "Hotel Yorba," "Fell in Love with a Girl."
That little part around Hotel Yorba with the acoustic stuff
Right.
was really cool. The couple of those were new songs,
Oh, I'll get into that.
and it was like then I knew. He had the acoustic guitar, and I knew he was going to play Hotel Yorba at some point during there, and he did. That was really good stuff. And playing the piano at the same time, it was fucking crazy.
And Phil loves that Black Bat Licorice, 16 Saltines. I love Lazaretto. Oh, she would have done more from the Lazaretto CD.
Well, now you're bitching.
Ball and Biscuit, Steady as She Goes, Icky Thump,
The
Seven
Ball and
Nation
Biscuit
Army.
was fucking great because he's such a great guitarist. And like Fell in Love with a Girl, it was a little different version. It was like the fast part, then it slows down at the end, and he does like a little extended version of it. But one of the things that I hadn't seen, was this the exact same band when you saw him at the Midland? Different people, right?
Yeah.
So we're over on the side of the stage. When I'd seen him before, it was just Meg White and Jack White. This was 2005, and I was in that front row. And the way they set the stage up, the way he did back then, was drums on the left. He's got all this shit on the right. Now it's over the left side, about where we were sitting before. And the drummer sits sideways, like the kit is not facing the crowd, right? So kind of the same thing this time. And that dude, his name is Daru something or other. I looked him up. He looks like fucking Larry Holmes.
Right.
It looks like heavyweight champ Larry Holmes when Larry Holmes was about 50. Not today's Larry Holmes. He had this little snap hat on, and he liked us.
He threw me a fucking drumstick, and I caught the drumstick.
We were yelling at him. He liked us. We were up there.
So you can't take any phones in, and if you do take your phone in, they give you a pouch. You got to put it in there, and then if you see you using the phone, they'll fucking ask you to leave, and there's like designated areas where if you do got to use your phone, take it out of the pouch, whatever else.
It's called the Yonder pouch.
I just left the fucking phone in the car, right? But then, of course, on front row, like the one time in front row, I don't have a phone to take pictures or whatever. And so here, can you hear me okay, by the way? I can't hear myself. Do you hear me good?
I hear you.
Do I sound crystal clear?
You need to talk louder. Put some bass in your voice.
Is my microphone on?
It's on.
Okay, good. And so what he does, though, for his fans, he will post pictures on his website the next day after the show, and you can download them and use them as you wish. There's also a way you have to buy it. You can get a 3 CD set of the show, the audio. And I'm gonna get that, of course. But here is
I'll burn that.
So here's one of the pictures of the. I'll put this around the camera. This is one of the pictures that was posted on the website, and there you see the Jack White and his 3 band members taking a bow in front of the sold out crowd at Starlight. And so then the best part is if you zoom in on the picture here, right over to the left side,
you don't see me
of the stage. You don't see, but
look at that guy. Look
how fucking happy I am. I caught that fucking drumstick. There's Phil and there's Susan, and then you're off. You were out.
I was just out of frame.
Just out of frame there. But look at me holding that fucking drumstick like a magic wand, like I'm Harry Potter. I was so happy with this.
Shouldn't I have set Susan over on your left and I've been over on the right, closer?
But then there was a video that they posted on his Instagram, and then they panned the crowd. This is just me and you. We're
giving the business.
So where does that rank amongst concert you've seen in recent time?
In recent time, it's top. I haven't seen in recent time. It's one of the top, probably 3 concerts I've ever seen in my life.
The best concert I've ever seen with Jack White was at the Midland in 2013. Was it 2013? Fuck, I can't remember my years. But anyway,
it was Bad Jake.
The Lazaretto tour.
So it was before 14.
Okay, so my favorite song that he did during this concert, and so here's what was so great. For people that don't know, in the Elvis movie, they utilize a Jack White song. Well, it's an Elvis song, and so in the scene where Elvis arrives in Vegas to go visit the Colonel who's ailing in the hospital, "Power of My Love" is an Elvis song, but Jack White did a version of it, and with the wonders of modern technology, it's a duet between Elvis and Jack White. But Jack White does guitar. And so, and in that scene, when Elvis is in the car in Vegas, that song plays in the movie. It's, of course, on the soundtrack. And I looked at all the set lists. And of all the concerts he did on this tour, he played at one time. So there's no fucking way he's going to play in Kansas City. But I would love to hear him do the Elvis song, right? And so I wore, knowing I was going to be in the front row, I wore a Monarchs hat because he likes the Monarchs. He's visited the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum when he comes here. He's a big baseball fan. But I also wore my Elvis TCB shirt.
Yep.
And I don't fucking care. I will take credit for this.
You did it.
Because one time he looked over and saw me. I got my Elvis TCB shirt on. And then he fucking played the Elvis song, "Power of My Love" from the Elvis soundtrack. And even though my fucking back hurt, I jumped up. It was fucking fantastic.
So
I get credit for that because he'd only played it one time on the tour, and the second time he played it was in Kansas City when he saw me wearing my TCB shirt.
now here's my little judge of how we did here, right? So I had looked a lot of the set list, and sometimes in the encore they played 3 songs, and occasionally 4 songs, right? So I'm like, are we going to get 4? Have we given the juice to get 4? And we only got 3. I was a little disappointed. I didn't think we gave enough as a crowd. I think we did our part in the front row because he's got new guitars now. He plays these fucking custom-made Fenders that have all this shit inside of them that you can't even buy, all right? He used to play this old Montgomery Ward's thing, and he's got this new stuff that Fender has custom-made for him. They're amazing guitars. But then when he plays Seven Nation Army, it's the old acoustic
like
guitar,
a vintage guitar
that he's got rigged up with a fucking pickup in it. And so we look over, his little guitar tech is this dude with the suit on and the long hair and his little hat. And he looks over at him and he's holding the guitar. It's not sitting on stage. He's holding the guitar and he reaches out and says, "Give me the guitar." I'm like, fuck, we didn't get 4 songs.
No, that's fine.
So I thought, I blamed the other people who were there because I know Shane Summers was in the crowd.
Oh, really?
He was there. Our good friend Dave Borchert was in the crowd. We saw Pamela. She was in the crowd. I don't think they did their part to get us a 4th song in the encore. So I was about 0.5% disappointed that we didn't get that 4th song. But not everyone got the big, long version of Ball and Biscuit, which was the last song before the encore.
And the Elvis song.
So we did good there. We got those done. I would have liked one, and it cut like a buffalo. I didn't play that all the time. That was fucking excellent. It was very good. So I was super excited that your son was sick and could not go to the show.
Oh, Richie.
Is he doing better?
He is. I got him a T-shirt and I'm going to buy him the CD of the show so you can listen to it. Okay, so now moving on.
I felt like a dad, though, because I bought you a T-shirt.
Yeah, he did. He bought me and my wife T-shirts.
I said, you take me to the show. I
Money
said,
bags.
let's go up here and buy T-shirts. And I bought what we have? We had a pizza and a beer.
Phil had a pizza. I had half a beer.
Half a beer. No one would get, they had some weird fucking vegetable. There was some vegetable thing. It feels like, who orders that here? I said, well, let's fucking get it. We didn't do it.
With hummus.
Yeah, it was hummus. Vegetables and hummus at Starlight.
Okay, so.
Nothing like sitting in the front row. What would you, if you were eating hummus and vegetables in the front row, what song might he have played then?
Jack White maybe would have invited me on stage because I was health conscious.
Have a hummus vegetable.
House of the Dragon episode 3 came out on Sunday. And so this was the best shit because it was a huge battle scene between Daemon Targaryen and the crab feeder what the fuck was wrong with him?
He had
psoriasis.
He looked like Mason Verger.
Yeah, Mason. So I said, if anyone's ever seen Hannibal, the great actor Gary Oldman plays Mason Verger, who is he's all fucked up, and he was the nemesis of Hannibal, and then, paid all the money. He was like
the patriarch.
But he was all.
He should have been in a royal family doing awful things. I went to the gym after we talked about that. I saw a buddy of mine at the gym. He goes, what is this Mason Verger? I get scared when Steven was making that voice. I said, you got to go watch some of those movies.
But and he had an assistant named Cordell, right? And so he was like, Mason Verger. So
I don't think he had grayscale. Ben thinks he had the grayscale. That was wrong.
Grayscale?
Because we saw grayscale in there, but it looked a fucking bad case of it because it got him good.
It may have been. Whatever it was fucking bad.
It looked like leprosy.
And he needed some kind of ointment for it or whatever. I don't know.
He got fucking cut in half. The grayscale was from House of Dragon. You didn't want to touch it. It was like leprosy.
It was a great, great episode. And the build up, spoiler, you've had a fucking week to watch this. It builds up to this battle. And Daemon Targaryen never says one word in this entire fucking episode, but he owned the episode. And at the very end, if you see, you see like he's surrendering, he's giving himself up, but he's the bait. It's the tactic they're using to try to draw these fucking people out of their caves so the dragons can come and set them on fire.
Yeah, the word had come back to the king, his brother.
The king is going to fucking help him because he felt sorry for him. He didn't want help.
He sent a raven that said, we're going to help you guys. He reads this fucking letter and he's just like, fuck you.
And he beat the fuck out of the guy with the helmet.
He said, don't kill the messenger. What the fuck, man?
But he didn't ever say nothing. And so he fucking goes in there, and the whole time you're waiting, because they built it up episode 2, for him to get his hands on the fucking crab feeder. The crab feeder is supposed to be this fucking super villain or whatever else. This guy sees the fucking going get tough, and he retreats into the cave. And I was pissed off. Because I didn't get the payoff of watching him do this shit. But he cut this motherfucker in half and had his fucking organs. He fucking eviscerated him.
He just drug him out.
And drug his upper half with his fucking intestines hanging out. He ripped this motherfucker in half.
He did.
And this look on his face at the end with the fucking blood. I don't know what he did.
You think this guy should be a king since he's vanquished the crab feeder?
Fuck yes. I'm on board now.
Do you see trouble happening?
I'm on board with this guy. Now, this guy, you know, and there's that one scene when he's taking on all these fucking people, and he's standing there like this, and it's very comparable to Jon Snow. He's got it. He is Jon Snow is his offspring. Okay, he's like the fucking answer to Jon Snow, and like the King's Hand, because people made. I was reading online making these comparisons. Game of Thrones. The King's Hand is very similar to like Littlefinger. His fucking is understated.
He
like,
went and sent his young daughter in there with a royal womb,
right,
to make a baby
and then
bear a child.
But I love the fucking battle scenes, and the good thing about the battle scenes here. If you remember, a lot of people bitched to Game of Thrones because it was too dark. And
this is a daytime fight.
This was very well lit battle.
This was more like Battle of the Bastards battle scene,
and it was brutal.
Yeah,
did you like that?
I did. It was a good episode. I'm in on the show for sure. It is weird though because they're moving forward quick. I don't
like that.
There was 6 months between the first two and about 3 years between 2 and 3 because Alicent had already born a child,
right,
and was with pregnancy again.
And see, I don't like this because so far my favorite actor or actress in the House of the Dragon is Millie Alcock, who plays Rhaenyra.
Say that again.
Millie Alcock. She's an Australian actress. But now, because they're advancing so quickly, that actress is going to be aged out of the role like by episode 4 or 5, which is fucking bullshit because she's great. When she steals every scene, you know, and she's terrific. But they're going to get another whatever the next actress is going to take over when Rhaenyra gets like into her 20s.
There's probably
30s.
some sort of a statement on the monarchy. We opened this with the Queen being
here
dead.
We go. What do you think about that?
Because of all this in fucking whatever, right? At one point,
this is very incestuous. This
because
TV
the
show.
guy, who was it that suggested that she marry her 2-year-old brother?
I thought it was the King's Hand.
Yes, I mean it's freaking ridiculous.
And like the fucking thing. And how about this? And the king, his objection wasn't that's her brother's. He's only 2 years old.
Yeah.
Like, how about say that's her fucking brother?
Yes.
There was a problem with that. Like, if he would have been 14 or 15, like, oh, it's fine. And so to keep the bloodlines pure.
That's not how it works. Sometimes it doesn't
not
work
how
great.
it works?
No, sometimes you don't want to. The blood may be pure, but the genes and chromosomes may get fucked.
So did you also like? I saw that. What the fuck's the guy's name that wrote this? George
R.R. Martin.
R.R. Martin. And so what's the R stand for?
Ralph.
Like railroad or whatever. So he had said that he wanted to do a hunting scene. Did you like the way they went about the King's Hunt? Where the fucking king doesn't do shit. And they fucking, first of all, I don't know why I like this, but they're looking, they fucking got a handful of that fucking shit and we're smelling that shit like he is.
George Raymond Richard Martin.
This is fresh. He must be near. So there's you hunt.
Yeah, it's
you
fresh.
grab shit.
They call that
smear
fresh
it on your
scat.
nose. Do you smell it?
That's scat.
Do you?
No, you don't put it on your nose.
Okay, so anyway, the king doesn't do shit.
No, they had
They let everyone go out there and get there, and they fucking tie down this fucking deer.
Tied up.
And they just called the king in
to stab
the fucking
him.
spear that Jason Lannister gave. Did you like Jason Lannister?
And the best part is like he missed. He didn't quite kill shot it. And he goes, a little too. You're right, my liege.
One more time. And then because everyone's like, oh,
he did it.
What did you think of the introduction of Jason Lannister as a
He's going to be around, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a problem.
Yeah. Well, the Lannisters always pay their debts.
Right. But then she killed a fucking boar. Rhaenyra did.
She went fucking Jared
dirty
Allen on that thing.
And went nuts on this deal.
Yeah, I thought she was in trouble because he had gotten onto her. He'd gotten to her, that Whoopig Suey. They'd called the hogs, as it were. And She killed it, though.
So then let me ask you this, and maybe there's no correct answer to this. Who are we supposed to root for in this fucking thing?
Well, I haven't quite figured that out yet because you don't want to root for Damon because he's an awful guy.
No.
But
after this episode, I'm rooting for Damon.
Yes, you are rooting for him.
He won me over after he cut that fucking guy in half.
But we already know ahead of time you probably shouldn't trust a Lannister.
Right.
Because we know that from Game of Thrones.
But maybe they went bad after him. I don't know.
I feel they've set up King Aegon as a very nice guy. Like, he's a pretty good dude. He got put in some bad spots.
But he's a bumbling fucking fool to me.
He's a bumbling fool.
He can't make a fucking decision. He's influenced by everyone.
He made a decision. He said, kill my wife and take this baby out.
Everything he does is fucking wrong. He's a terrible fucking king.
But he's a good guy.
But he's a terrible king, in my opinion.
The one good thing he did was say, Rhaenyra, you are my heir.
Right.
That's his one good decision. That's not going to hold. Oh, it's going to hold.
That's not going to keep.
It's going to keep.
So then where are we headed with this fucking thing?
Well, I think we're headed to...
Damon and Rhaenyra are going to fucking battle?
Is probably going to kill his brother or something.
Right.
Right?
But what about... Isn't he sick, though? Doesn't he have scabs they've been picking at and all kinds of shit? They've alluded to the idea that he's not well. They can't figure it out right.
Yeah, he's got the bad finger. They put the maggots in the thing.
But he's going to fucking die, or do you think he's going to get killed?
Well, he's going to be dead for sure. But I think... And then there'll be a fight over who has the claim, right? Is it the...
So who is the protagonist of this fucking show?
Well, that's the thing with Game of Thrones. There's lots of them.
Right. So Damon didn't win you over with this?
Yeah, I like that, but I also think he's a pretty bad dude.
Well, yeah, there's no one good in this fucking
Where's
thing.
his bronze bitch?
Right, that's what I want to see. I want to see more about this.
Yes.
But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed what do they call him? The snake?
The sea snake.
The sea snake is
the
Lovey
sea snake's
Smith.
good. He's gonna be trouble too.
Right.
He's united with Damon at this point.
And who is his brother with the fancy ass fucking dragon? Was it a brother or is this
his
little brother?
Yeah, his little brother who's like Lovey Jr.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Well, one of them's dead soon.
Right.
Because they can't all three. The triarchy will not stand.
So how do you think this thing's? What's your prediction for how this is going to wrap up
this season?
Who's going to win?
Who's going to sit on the crown?
They've already renewed it for season 2.
Well, probably Damon will be the king.
He should be.
Yeah.
So
probably.
But you gave that a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right.
It was fun.
Does watching that give you any different perspective on the passing of the Queen? Seriously, is there anything that you take away from that?
I've always thought this whole thing with the Lannisters were always kind of like the royal family in Game of Thrones with all the incest and all that kind of crap.
I was going to say the Lannisters are super incestuous.
Yes, and I thought they were kind of like that, and then it felt like that was England, right? And then like it felt like the Starks were like Ireland or something.
There's a lot. It seems like there's a lot of kissing cousins or some cousin loving.
Yes.
Is it there?
Yes.
I'm asking you.
Yes, that's what they all do.
Who's they?
Them. When they suggest you should marry your 2-year-old brother.
No, I'm talking about in real life, the royal family now.
Oh, well, yeah, both of them. They've done that. Sure.
Right. Okay. So no final comments on
the Queen? Thoughts
you're not going to watch any of this?
No.
Do you think they should?
I was a little disappointed, quite frankly, that the National Football League had a moment of silence last night.
You were disappointed?
Yeah.
Why?
We got a moment of silence for the Queen of England.
You got a lot of fans in England that watch the NFL.
Well, I know why they did it.
And over the years, the Queen has comforted them in their time of need. I keep going back to that. That's what people say. I don't fucking know. Look, it doesn't mean anything to me, but that doesn't mean something to a lot of people. I don't fucking know.
Let's you go have some tasteless beef and a side of fucking boiled potatoes.
There you go.
And some other unflavorful food.
Todd Lebo not moved by.
How about a warm beer?
Okay. Well, that's it. There's your update on the Jack White concert, House of the Dragon, and the passing of really the highlight of the Naked Gun series, the Queen of England. That's right. God Save the Queen.
There we go.
Until next week, the microphone is off.